Call it YouTube. Yeah, so basically I'm just doing a tier list live on stream. And I'm uploading on YouTube as well. Pretty much got every item that you should value in support in Season 11. This is a preemptive guess on the meta. Obviously, with there being no competitive, I don't have anything to hold back. And kind of just going to go through it. You'll notice a bit of a difference this time. There's going to be glyphs included, so you see the rune breaking and the flame forged here. And the reason for that is because now that there's no glyph limit anymore, it means you can build 5 glyph items if you want in a starter. So even though they're like a glyph item, they're technically still like a tier 4 item, and you can build whatever one you want now. You can't build both of them, but you can build one or the other. So Runeforge has a lot of value, but Flameforge is different and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're doing. These lot are going through an ad break right now, but fuck them. Okay. So I guess we're going to start. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, because I need to like decide on some dog shit items. I'm going to go from there, I think. Okay. I'm just going to start by putting items where I think they should go, and we're going to go from there. So first up is Cannoneer's Cuirass. The problem with this item, and I'm also going to put this one as well in here. The problem with these two items is that they don't have any prots on them. They're extremely low protection. You cannot rush them first in support because they don't give you anything. And the problem with building these items later on in the game is that they don't give you CDR, they don't make you tanky, and they don't do anything against the enemy. Bro, if Renewal is not F, you are dog shit. It absolutely is F. No one's ever building Renewal. The only time Renewal was ever good was when it was in Season 9 and you had to rush an early power spike to run to Scorpions. Now, Renewal could get more value if there was some sort of extremely potent meta where having your first item be strong was the most important thing in the game, but that probably won't be a thing in this meta. Teleporters aren't on until 8 minutes in the game, and that's probably the big thing. People built Renewal in the last game. Yeah, I mean, that World's Finals, they outdrafted us, and they got such a big lead. Mike could have built full damage. We didn't fight them once that game. That was also Season 10 as well, so it doesn't... My opinion's not changing on this one. My opinion won't be changed. You can disagree with me, but I'm not changing it. They just don't have any value. They don't provide enough for how little prots they give you, and they're not even that much cheaper than a Thebes, for example. So I'm putting those two items there. I guess in the same vein, I'm gonna go and put an item such as Thebes in S tier, for the exact opposite reason of these two. They're literally the same price. This item gives more protections than both of these two combined. It's also cheaper than at least one of these. It's like probably the most consistent support item in the game besides Cloak, but this is just way more consistent. It's just a staple support item. It's like the best support item in the game. It gives you auras, it gives you everything. So okay, you guys are just typing absolute bollocks on you. Yeah, I don't think anyone's denying that Thebes is not S tier. And in the same vein as well, like, I guess I'm kind of going with like first item. Like when you're playing support, what first item can you build? This is what I'm going for basically. Both of these two items paired together are S and F. Double defense items are really broken in Smite typically, especially when mages were strong last season and mages are going to be strong this season. You need those magical prots early, and that's why it's so strong. It means you can stack it off of like Cloak. You can stack off the support and the ADC. Thebes you can stack and you get prots for both the support and ADC. So these two items are absolutely broken. Now it's a little bit different when I'm talking about like items here. Like when I talk about let's say Flameforge, for example, right? And I'm like, yeah, Flameforge is really good. The problem with Flameforge is that it costs so much more gold than Thebes, so obviously it's not going there. But just an example of like why items are higher in value. Or an F. It doesn't matter. Like they're both F. Like they're both so dog shit, it doesn't matter. It's like, imagine dumpster diving and you're trying to rate which item that's rotten and has been thrown out 3 weeks ago you're going to eat, you know? Like, it's all shit, rotten food. It doesn't matter if one's like, you know what I mean? It's not ratatouille. Like, this is, you're eating shit out of a dumpster. Anyway, I'm going to continue with some other items. Let me continue with... What's a good item I can continue with here? Probably going to go with this one. I'm just doing it in a random order. Because I'm just trying to go through my head and I should honestly, I really should have thought about this preemptively, but I'm not going to. Eldritch Dagger is going to go in A tier. It's close to being an S tier, but it's a little bit expensive for a support item. Obviously, it branches off Relic Dagger. It's the glyph version. This item is like, if you are, the higher rank you are, the better the item gets. It's the best item in the game for contesting vision around Fire Giant. Obviously, you place a bracer yourself, you literally get infinite fire vision for 20 seconds. The increased protections as well works great with the pridwins, which obviously there's 2 in now, and they're going to both be pretty good. These are really good, really good. Relics have been nerfed in this season, but because they've been nerfed across the board, including for junglers and soul, like teleport's been nerfed too, kind of means that support relics are even more important because everything else has been nerfed and we have more options. So relic is arguably even close to an S tier, honestly. I'm kind of close to putting it here, but I'm leaving it there for now. No, have you actually got removed in season 11, unfortunately. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna put... Yeah, honestly, this might be S. This might be S. You know what? Actually, I'm moving it to S. I changed my mind. I'm moving that to S. I'm not even kidding. This item's actually beyond broken. This item is like, it's the chance of you getting this compared to this is not even close. Like every other glyph version, like there's reasons why you shouldn't pick the different versions, but like that one is beyond broken. It's like really broken. And like in the Worlds last year and even continuing to this year, you're gonna see these items a lot in ranked games. Okay, I've done 5 items in 7 minutes. I need to hurry up. Okay, I'm going to be putting this in S tier as well. This is Glorious Pridwin. This is the explodey version of... it's not a limit, but I'm running out of room in S tier. These are like the best items in the game for me. Like, especially if you like, if we like tab out and go here, like if we go through the God builds, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of these 4 in every build. Yeah, like a lot of Glorious Pridwins, a lot of relic on like a relic abusing God. You're gonna see a lot of Eldritch Dagger here, Reverend. Again, like this is just based off what I'm thinking, but again, it's my tier list, so you know, the website will be in the description. It'll be fine. The Sazana Sport is my throne duo. What is the best Gem script AC you can think of? With a Sazana, just go for a full damage Guardian or something for fun. Anyway, yeah, Pridwin it just does so much damage. It's like the best dive glyph in the game. The problem with this glyph is that it's expensive, obviously as all glyphs are. This item gives you so much bonus damage. Like late game on a god like ulting like a Cerberus or a Cabrakan or a Kuzumbo, it gives you like an extra 150 damage, and it gives you the extra slow as well. All that for 600 gold, really efficient. So it's a super broken item in my opinion. Like this one here, I'm just gonna do this. It's not gonna make a lot of sense why I've put these 2 here. Pridwin's really strong. Like one change they made this year is you'll notice like on Shoguns they removed CDR. They removed CDR 500 pot. They removed class passes off warriors for CDR. Like CDR is a lot harder to get value from. So any item that provides 20% cooldown is really a lot more valuable this time because the slot is like so much harder to get. So that's why Pridwin's going here, because it's really efficient for the 20% CDR. But like the upgrade of this it's like good to have obviously if you can afford it, but this one is like it's not efficient enough. Like the shield you get is not worth the 600 gold in my opinion. I just don't. Why is it a Pridwin higher than blue Pridwin? It's just insane damage. The damage is just insane. This is the best diving item in the game that's not an actual damage item. Why is Thebes S tier? Thebes... What do you mean I don't build Thebes? Are you trolling? What are you saying? What are you saying I don't build thieves? Half the builds I do have thieves. Okay, not here, not here. Look, half the builds for the Guardians have thieves in them. They have bad stats for early game? Yeah, they do. These is not a first item. This is a third. This is a second, third, fourth item. This is a second, third, fourth item. Even maybe third, fourth. You always want to build this in your third or fourth slot, guaranteed. Okay. Anyway, I'm moving on from that now. I kind of think I'm pretty happy with the pridwin placement. Haven't seen you play any Guardians. Yeah, you'll see in season 11. I'll be playing a lot more. I'm going to be putting Shoguns into A tier. Shoguns is one of the... Obviously, they removed the CDR off it, which kind of sucks for the Guardians. It's pretty good for the warriors like Achilles, Hercules, Erlang, anything like that. Even like for Onher, it's good. I just want to continue that one. The problem with Shoguns, or the thing about Shoguns, is it's very cheap, it's infinite mana, and the attack speed buff to your team is really obnoxious. Especially with crit being really good right now, and even items like Silranch having potential. That bonus attack speed increases your team's damage on DPS by so much that like it's one of your most valuable stats. Like it's insanely valuable to get Shoguns. Obviously, you don't want to get it like that early, but gods like Fafnir, gods like Onher, gods like Kepri, gods like Ares, they really want this item because it gives them that infinite mana and it gets a really useful magical prot. Like when you compare it to other magical defense items, like let's look at like Absolution, very simple. Okay, Absolution's a B tier item, right? Absolution's really, really bad until it's really broken. Like Shoguns is consistently really good and really cheap. This item is hard to use for majority of players. Even pro players are misusing it. Okay. Absolution is good against like Ares, it's good against like your Dargies, but usually it's pretty horseshit. But I'm leaving it here just because it's like it can be really good, but like sometimes it's S, sometimes it's F. Like that's the thing about magical defense items. So win support, double defense items like physical and Shogun, physical and magical pro items are very easy because you get both prots. When you're buying like a singular defense item, it's very hard to decide what to buy. Okay, so for example, Absolution into Ares Dargi, Shoguns based on like what you're trying to provide for your team. Genji's in support right now is just bad. Like, why would you ever build a Genji's when you can give your team CC immunity or give your team 30% attack speed across the board? You know? Like, the stats are literally the same. This gives you like a 3-second cooldown reduction. The only god that I would ever build Genjis on if you're trying to build Genjis would be Shiva. And the reason for that is that you get the double stance swap while you're in combat. And then you can double 1, double 3, and then the damage you get from that makes you swap stance again. So Genjis is like... That's why Genjis is going there. I'm just going to go through the tree now as well, I guess. In my opinion, Oni Hunter's going to go in C tier. Again, yeah, so like someone said in chat, like, Genjis is a solitary item. So is Oni Hunters, in my opinion. Again, like, the support, because we're behind the next XP in gold, getting mitigation on a low health pool doesn't mean anything. Like, you would rather be less tanky, but provide value for your team if you're playing correctly. Now, you can go for Oni Hunters on, like, a Kuzumo and a Kabrakan if you want, but the problem with that is that when you're building defense and mitigation, you're not dealing damage. It's it's very selfish, it's very efficient and cheap, but it doesn't really mean anything in Smite. Like, just go Shoguns instead. Like, the passive is very selfish. You're going to notice a lot of these passives up here are going to be they're very, like, they're going to be, like, the higher up the better the item, the less selfish it is. Okay, next up, we're going to do... I'm going to keep going magical defense, I guess, at this point. Heart Ward is going to go in this tier for me. So, again, we're just doing all the magical defense items at this point. Heart Ward is very difficult to value because obviously the anti-dive properties of it are really good against your Cthulhu's, your like Alquan Kibo jungles. The mana doesn't really mean anything. Like, nobody runs out of mana in Smite anymore, especially in last season. It's going to be the same this year as well. So you don't get the MP5 use of it, but it is really cheap. It is like good to rush. Like, if you're into 4th magical, for example, you can go Thieves into Heart Ward and be unkillable. But again, like, you're just not buffing your team as much. Like, you can give your teams 15 prots if you want, but why not just give them CC immunity for 1.5 seconds or 30% attack speed, right? So Heart Ward's going to go here. In the same vein, this item is really bad. Cost efficient wise, it does nothing. This upgrade. No, I'm recording a YouTube video. This is a soul lane item when you stack. So imagine soul laners go like Glads, Mystical, Berserkers, and they want to go this item last to get loads of magical prot. That's fine. In support, we are never ever building we're never triple stacking Fizzy. If they're 5 physicals, you can do that, but I mean, how realistic is that? It's super unrealistic. So I'm putting this in D. It's not worth it cost efficient wise, or cost efficiency, I guess. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put Amulet of Silence in C. This item's kind of in the middle of these two. It does have a bit of value, but it's really hard to use. Saving your auto attack is very difficult because it's only you good for Guardians. It's better on gods that have ranged CC, ranged autos. You won't build it on Umoja. So where does it even get value, really? It's a fine item. It's like a nice little bonus glyph, but it's very, very random in my opinion. So I'm putting that in C tier. Is there any other magical defense items? There's Pesty. Pesty's just going to go in B tier. Again, it's kind of a soul lane item. The problem with items like this, like, you're never going to apply them to the enemy unless you're getting involved. Now, you can build Pesty as a dive item. That's fine. Like, any healing you're reducing is effectively damage. But the problem with Pesty is that, again, like, to get involved that hard and to dive, you have to be so far ahead that you'd rather your soul laner build it. But it is a really good item. It's close to being A, but it's not Shogun's tier, unfortunately. So I'm leaving this here. Yeah, so we have Fey Hoops. Fey Hoops is going to be A tier. No, it's going to be B tier. Fey Hoops got nerfed a lot. No, I'm putting it here, sorry. No mind, ignore me. Fey Hoops is C tier. There is only one good character in the game with Fey Hoops, and that is Umoja. If you're building on Fey Hoops on anyone but Umoja, you are trolling, in my opinion. You can maybe build it on health support, that's fine, but nobody else. Once they nerf the global cooldown on it, if Alpha Cliff, it's only... or Guan as well, yeah, Guan's a good shout too. Guan, Umoja, Hell. Terra, no, not on Terra. No, Terra, you should be diving now. Terra should be a dive god in this season. But yeah, it's just good CDR for healers, which they won. It's infinite mana for healers, which they won. But yeah, Fey Hoops is staying there. It is really, really efficient and really cheap, but the value is like not as... It was broken before, but now it's just like a fine item. The reason it's in C is because it can only be built on a few characters. And even then, it's like not really game-changing. Talisman's also going to be in C. Again, I'm doing all the magical defense items here. The thing about Talisman is it just doesn't really do much besides... You know what I mean? Like, like the movement speed, does it really do anything else than Shoguns? Shoguns is what? 30% attack speed in an aura permanently. Talisman is conditional movement speed, conditional attack speed. The best advice I have for Talisman is like building on characters like Athena, Fafnir, and stacking it with an Emperor's Armor and just pushing towers. So you rotate to mid, you split a mid wave with your mid laner, and you give them the Talisman attack speed for the tower, and then reduce the tower's attack speed. Like, that's really the only way that you can build it. You can build it. It's got good synergy with War Flag, but realistically, again, compared to all these items up here, I personally would never build it. Yeah, so that's how Talisman's going there. Anything else? I think we have Void Dormammu as well, right? Yeah, we have Void. I think Void's going to be a really strong item. I think Void's going to be an A item. It's very, very high prot. It's more prot than all of these items that we've listed. It also reduces the enemy's protections by a lot, by 10%. So if someone's got 325 prots, it reduces it by 32.5. If a carry late, let's say a carry late gives you 90, it reduces it by 9. Now this has a lot of value for a few reasons. Okay, Void Dormammu, I know what it's called, Void Dormammu, works really well with Pridwin, Thorns. It works well with magical damage gods like Guardians. It works well for your mage. So when you start stacking all these things up, the amount of value you're getting from that is really good. Yeah, and mystical too as well. And again, if we go back to my guide, I really think there are going to be a lot of gods going mystical, which got buffed into Dormammu. Dumaru. So you're going to see his combo a lot, I think, personally. I think it's going to be Aether. Yeah, that's what I think for that one. It's griefing to double stack? No. It's not griefing to double stack. You have to just look at game state. If you've got a good late game team pump on your head, it's really good. I would say double stacking with gods that want a greedy item. So double stacking with the Emoji is fine. Because you can then it means you can go Chronos Pendant. Double stacking with Charon's fine because he has lots of range. And then you can go Chronos Pendant. Double stacking with Afro is really good because you share your prots to your ally. So it's really efficient. And then you can get to go a greedy item like Chronos Pendant. I would say double stacking if you're trying to go a greedy item is really good. Otherwise, I would advise against it. Yeah, Wingblade. Yeah, Wingblade's just going to go in A tier. Like, Wingblade is just... The amount of slows in this game right now, the way the game's panned out over the years, high res just keep adding more and more slows. Like, every character has a slow. It's not very high magical defense, but with items like these two, you're perfectly fine. It also synergizes really well with the dive gods, so Tyr loves it. Kumba loves it. You can build it into gods like Alplash. You can build it into gods like Ganesh. It's really good. Really good. It's good and terrific as well, like what I said in chat. What's double stacking? Double stacking is when you go Thebes and Cloak together back to back. Either order. You can go Cloak first, then Thebes, or you can go Thebes, then Cloak. What's my site? It's in... I'll enter the link. There you go. Oh, someone's done it. Thank you, boys. Okay, anyway. Okay, next up. Shall I do the physical defense items or the neutral items, boys? What shall I do? Shall I do the neutral, like the double defense ones, or physical ones? I'll do whatever you guys want. Fizdick, I see Fizdick. Okay. Sure, okay. Just going to start off. Straight away, Void Shield is the exact same reasoning as the Void Damaru. Straight away. Again, someone has max cap prots. Reduce it by this. Even like they could even have more than that as well. You know, Achilles and stuff has way more. Again, if they have 19 average, it reduces by 9. That's a lot of penetration. These also give 55 defense. Again, this Void Damaru almost gives triple the defense of Wingblade. That's crazy to me. That is insane. Like, obviously Wingblade has a better, more useful passive, but like these are really, really high statted items. And the reason they're high statted is because if everyone starts building them, they kind of count on themselves a little bit. So, yeah, that's why we're building that. That's why it's going there. Obviously, it's like 2,600 gold, a little bit expensive, but it does give HP 5 for the tier 2. So it's a very efficient tier 2 to go. 325 to 290 is irrelevant in my opinion. I disagree on that one. I disagree. I mean, 32.5 prots is nothing. Right, 30 prot reduction is nothing to laugh at. That's like half a Ganesh ult. That's a full on her passive and a half. Like, just because it's a big just because it's a small percentage of a big number doesn't mean anything. That's a huge number, in my opinion. 2,400? Sorry, 2,400. Even better. My bad. Dolphin Sport. Pressure bot, but probably not very good. I haven't played it much, though. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay. Okay, so let's go... Phalanx. Berserker. Okay, Phalanx is going to go there. I'm going to wait a second as well. No, I wasn't soup. I never really got any sick plays with those two. Like, individually, like, I had a nice Absolutional on a Worlds against Kennet with Aphroditeal, but combine them together, you don't really get that. Okay, anyway. Phalanx is really good for solo laners who are fighting a lot and playing around minion waves. In support, when you're roaming, it does nothing for you. It's not a good second item. It's not a good third item. It's not a good fourth item. It's not a good fifth item. It's not a good sixth item. It's just not good. The only reason it's not lower is that technically it's really efficient for physical protections. If you want a single physical item, this item is the second best. This item is the first best. So do not buy Phalanx. If possible. Phalanx. Great and Solos, but this is a support tier list. Okay, Berserkers is going to go in C tier. Berserkers is a very selfish item, which is why it's going in C. You can build it on some characters. Erlang, on her, Achilles, Hercules, maybe. But again, I mean, you could do. Actually, maybe I'm going to drop it. This item is really not that good. It's fine, again, for solo laners who are fighting a lot. In support, you usually get outranged, outgunned. You have less health than enemy, less gold than them. if you're really far ahead, these items are obviously great, but most of the time you're not going to be ahead. So we're putting it in D. Again, it's good in a few gods, like I said, like Erlang especially. If you want to play Erlang support, it's good, and maybe like again like Honor if you want to play it. But besides that, not very good. What about the whale? I'm pretty sure I did a whale build earlier on stream, but realistically, it's going to be a bit different because I haven't played him, so I'm not going to go into that. Heartward's so weak. Well, these just I went over it before, but these just aren't very cost efficient. They're not very cost efficient. The extra gold delays items, delays relics, and these don't really do anything. And Heartward is just not as good as Shoguns, Dormammu, or Absolution. Again, like a point of Heartward, by the way. Again, if I give my teammates 15 magical prot on top of, like, Dormammu's already reducing that by 1.5, so like it's already making Heartward 10% of the value. You know, like Dormammu is just a better item. You only build Heartward if you really have to. Well, it's like Dumaru, like Dormammu. I don't fucking know, dude. Enchanter, I have not tried it. I've not tried it properly yet. Okay. Anyway, continuing. Let's continue with this one. Let's do Should of Regrowth. Should of Regrowth is a very unique item. It's fantastic on, and it's only fantastic on these characters: Hercules, Horus, Afro, and Hell. You want to build it on characters that don't want to waste abilities for their movement speed. So Hercules. So the reason it's going to Hercules. Herc presses 3 to engage. He walks in. He outpaces his opponents, and he can get a 2-1. If you don't press your 3 and get movement speed, you can't catch up with them if they run away from you. Horus, it procs off his 3 and off his passive. Hell, it's very good because it gives you CDR. It gives you... it's good on backers too, actually. Yeah, sorry, it's good on backers as well. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's good on backers, actually. I'm lying. It's good on backers too because it was 1. And it's good on Aphrodite. On Aphrodite, you never, ever want to ult. If you get hit by anything, you don't want to ult. Your ult's your only ability on Afro, pretty much, because it connects everything together. So you need to be nimble and you need to be tanky, and movement speed provides tankiness in a weird way. So that's why Shield of Regrowth go in there. Non Achilles, no, because Achilles when he presses 2 is fighting usually. He's not running away. So yeah, we're keeping that there. Sov's going to be in A tier. Now, the difference between Sov and Heartward is that, like I mentioned before, Heartward has MP5, Sov has HP5. HP5 you're always getting use from. Everyone's always taking damage. Always. This item is broken on Ares, Khepri. It's good on Peel, even Peel gods like Hell, Afro. It's really good. You know who built Sov? Bro, I literally built Sov every game at Worlds on Khepri. What do you mean I don't build Sov? I literally built Sov every game on Khepri. If I played Ares, I would also build Sov. Yeah, Worlds? Bro, I'd build it in rank 2, man. You guys are trolling. No, I'm ignoring you. Ignoring. Blocked. Consider yourself blocked. I'm not responding to that comment. That's a silly comment. I'm telling you, it's really good. The HP5 is technically good against mages. The Heartward MP5 is not good against anyone, unless you have heals, but still not very good. Okay. Ranked, yeah. Okay, anyway. We have Emperors. Emperors is going to be a B item. The thing about Emperors is it's really hard to use, but it's really good when you're really far ahead or really far behind. The problem with the passive is that you have to have one of the two extremes. Let's say like 90% of games, Emperors is really bad. Those 10% games, or those 5% games either side, where you're up 10k in 10 minutes, or you're down 10k in 10 minutes, this will buy you a lot of valuable time. You got to think about Emperor's Armor as an investment. The reason you're building Emperor's Armor is to give your team gold, or to deny the enemy team gold. If I build Emperor's Armor, and I delay the enemy team's Fire Giant by 4 minutes, and delay the tower, I'm denying their team 800 gold. That's a third of my Emperor's Armor paid off already, boom. So it's very efficient to build overall. Same for snowballing. I'm spending my gold for Emperors so that my team can spend less time sieging and more time farming, and it gives my team more gold effectively. So Emperor's really good from behind, really good from ahead and really good from behind, but not in between. I hated the Emperor's meta, but it was fair dues. Okay, I also agree on the glyph comment too. Okay, let's keep going. Oh god, I've got so many good items here that I want to place high up. Okay, Spectral. Spectral is a dogshit item. Spectral is... Nobody likes Spectral, okay? No, you know what? Okay, I'm lying to you guys. I'm lying to you, it's her, okay? Spectral is not that good, okay? It's sometimes you have to build it, but it's really bad. If you're gonna die, you're gonna die anyway. You know what I'd rather? I don't know what I'd rather do? I'd rather my ADC kill them faster. Spectral is just, it's a support's worst nightmare. It's really bad, especially with the recent crit glyph they've added to the game. Cannot believe it. Obviously it's cheap, but the passive only affects crits. Look at Sov HP 5, it affects everything. Spectral only affects crits that one person builds. And a good analogy that I like to use. I have 6 slots in support, right? I have 1 starter, so I have 5 slots. If I have to build Spectral for 2 crit items, so if I'm building 1 item for 2 items, the enemy team is building 25 items altogether. I would need 12 item slots to counter the enemy team, and then I can't even build my own stuff. So if Spectral fully shut down crit, then people wouldn't build crit. The fact people build crit with Spectral proves that it's bad. Okay? So, enough said. Okay. On the same vein, Midgardian is... Oh, where do I put it? It's between one of the two. You know what? We're changing it. We're swapping it around. We're doing this. I actually have been pretty convinced recently that... I actually think that Sov's a really good general item, but it's only good on peel characters. We're gonna move... We're gonna swap positions. I think, actually. Fuck you guys, though. Fuck you guys. I don't care what you guys are saying. I'm doing it because of myself. The problem with Sov is it's not good on dive characters. The thing about Heartward is it's really, really good on both diving and playing defensively. Heartward is great with Athena. Athena's best item is Heartward. You should be building Heartward... Midgardian is Athena's best item. It's good against all types of damage. It's just good against everyone. Midgardian, I don't know the numbers on it, but I'm almost certain Midgardian reduces damage from crit hunters almost as much as Spectral does. And this works against warriors, non-crit users. It works against mages. It works against guardians. It's very, very strong. It's one of those items that when you... it feels really bad for the enemy to play into. It feels absolutely terrible. Nobody wants to be... You, like when I hit you with an auto and I get a negative reaction from hitting with an auto, it feels really bad. It's really bad. And you know, it's a really good item. If you need a good Fizzy item as your second item in general, what would you need? I mean, Sov on peel characters, Midgardian or Void Shield on dive characters, pretty much. Okay, so let's keep going. Mystical is going to be here. The reason Mystical Mail's not higher is because I haven't seen it be better yet. I would be very happy moving Mystical up here if I saw the data for it. The buffs on top of items like Void, Dumaru. This item with gods like Ares and Cerberus with the Cerberus Proshred and the Ares aura damage is insane. It's like cheaper, it's better, it scales better. It's going to be a really good item in Season 11. It's good in solo, good in support too. Again, like, if you're fighting and dueling a lot, it's a really good item to get. So, I think we're going to see a lot of Mystical. I'm willing to move it up soon, but for now, I'm going to say we're going to keep it there. Yeah, they triple buff Mystical. Okay. Let's keep going. Going to do Glad Shield. Glad Shield's going to go in C tier. Now, I have built quite a lot of Glad Shield on stream last year. The problem with Glad Shield is that you need to ability spam to use it, and supports often don't have the farm advantage or the fortune to be aggressively positioned against people. A lot of solidness have sustain, they have Warrior's Axe, they have lifesteal. Supports don't really usually have that. If you've got a heal, you're never building Glad Shield. If you don't have a heal, you're not gonna win a poke war with an enemy mage. Now, Glad Shield is good on a few characters, such as Tyr and Achilles, because they get bonus prots on their kit, and it hits for harder. But it's like a 4th, 5th item. It's not a second item. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend building Glad Shield if I were you. Okay, next up. Contagion. Contagion's a weird one, actually. Contagion's a really weird one. I'm floating between B or C, but I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put Contagion in C tier. Contagion is kind of like a bruiser item. It's good damage. But the problem is it's kind of it's inconsistent. If it would proc whenever someone ulted you or something, it'd be really good. But it's just not that great. If you're getting hit by a hard CC and a mage is then hitting you for 400 or something, you're dishing back a bit of damage, but is that better again than being able to kill them or being able to peel for your team? Like, I don't really know. Like, it doesn't really do anything. It's like it's not really a dive character. It's like it dissuades the enemy from hitting you. But I don't really like. I don't know. Fixes mana problems. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's in C tier, but it's not going any higher. Let's say they are a high CC, high healing comp. There you go. Then you've got your contagion spot. But like, it's like half the anti-heal of Pesty as well. Like, fuck that. It's not good. It's mediocre. Okay. The only thing I have left now is the breastplate items. Okay. Breastplate's weird. Breastplate's very weird, and I'm going to take a minute to think about this one before I place them. So, Breastplate technically got buffed because CDR is still abundant on the item. The problem with Breastplate is it's very selfish. You need to convert that CDR into helping your team. I think. Okay. Okay. I think I know what I want to do. I think we're going to go... I think I'm just going to triple BAM place these. And then I'm going to talk about them after. Okay. So I put the triple breastplates here. I feel like they're all quite well statted for the price. This is like... arguably, this is a great second... If you're looking to run it the fuck down and don't want to stack Cloak, this is like a weird... This is like a mixture of Cloak. Like, this gives you insane amount of prots. It gives you really good CDR, really good MP5. It's a great item. I would also recommend these items more for new players, by the way. Having CDR, having infinite mana is really easy to play the game with compared to having a mana resource bar and a CDs as well. This is really consistently good because it's got double defense, it's got Fizz and Magical, and then obviously the movement speed proc as well. Breastplate's just like fine, it doesn't do anything. Like, again, like, it's a selfish item, but if you can convert it into peel for your team, then technically it's peel. And the reason this one's here is because it's niche. This item, obviously, whenever you use your ultimate ability, for the next 5 seconds, enemies around you within like a 4-unit radius something do 20% less base attack damage. That is good. That is good. Obviously good against crit, because of crit scales off that number. The problem is... Well, no, sorry, it's not. It's just good against everything. What I'm saying, it's not exceptional. It's not better against crit or anything. It's just normal.
We can't play together again.
Yo, thank you for the resub, Tiller. The problem with this item is that it's not good against mages. It's not good against. It's good against hunters only, and like your Callies and your backers. Yeah, it's super unique to get, and it's expensive as well. So I think it's fine. I think it's a fine placement. We'll leave it there, and we'll move on. Okay. Cool. What should I do next? Oh, in the same... I guess let's talk about Relic Dagger a little bit, actually, as well. Relic Dagger is kind of the same way. I need to put some items in D here. Hold on. Let me put a few items in D, okay? Before we move on. Because I feel like I'm going to clunk up the graph here without putting some items. Okay. Blackthorn is going in D and going in F. They've tried bringing this item back, but the problem is it's just a solo lane item. It's not a support item at all. Even if you run around with infinite MP5, you could run around with an infinite mana bar, but you cannot run around with an infinite health bar. If you go Blackthorn second, and you run around as a warrior and try and poke a mage, they will outpoke you, and then it doesn't matter how much money you've got, you have to back to base to get health anyway. Yeah, it's just not the same item anymore. It's just not good. I don't know. I could speak about it forever. It's just not good. It's fine. You want to try it on Guan or something, you can do, but I would recommend staying away from the item. Frostbound's going to be in D. Now, they did massively buff Frostbound in Season 11. It's a lot better. I am willing to move this item up to here if I see reasons why it might be good. This would be really good on physical hunters in support, which I'm trying to force, but it'd be really good. But the problem is, if you can't build this on Horus, because Horus needs cooldown. You can build it on Hercules, but then you're delaying your regrowth. An item like this has the most value early game because you want to be invading with basically, you want to be invading with Frostbound basically. So that's why it's in D tier. It's just not good enough yet to be built early game, and late game it's not that good. So it's staying in D tier. You can build it. There might be a few games where it's good, but very rarely will there not be CC immunity on the enemy team or slow immunity, and then you're just like squishy. So Frostbound staying there. Dawnbringer is also going to go there as well. Dawnbringer playing the ADC Karen now, bro. I don't know how to answer that one. I don't have a build for Karen ADC. I'm very sorry. Dawnbringer is also in the same tier as Frostbound. The problem with Dawnbringer is it only works off your ultimate, and it gives no prots, so you do get bonus prots off the passive, but it's conditional prots, conditional when you're using your ult, conditional when you're diving. Exceptions for Dawnbringer would be Tyr, would be Guan, would be Achilles, kind of. Maybe even not Achilles. Again, it's a hard item. Maybe even Hercules is fine. I would just say it's pretty hard to build until 4th or 5th item. A lot of items up here you can build whenever you want for the most part. It's got a Muon too. You can build these items 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So Dawnbringer staying here for now. If a warrior became broken, you could definitely see it get picked up more, but you're not going to see that for a while, so I'm not going to move that up at all. Okay, Gaia is going to go in F tier. Gaia is just bad. There's too much anti-heal abundancy in the game. There's too much anti-heal in the game. The sustain means nothing. If the sustain was doubled, it would be a fine item. It isn't. It doesn't give that much health anymore. The problem with Gaia is, like, back in the day, that health used to mean something. Now that kin scales insanely high, and everyone has that health anyway, if you're against the kins or even it doesn't matter. Like, that's one auto that you're absorbing from Hunter, and that's soul reverse. That's ethereal health soul, and that's a big soul reverse. It's just not good. If it had a little bit of prots, some CDR, double sustain, you could see value of it. But right now, it's just in a really bad spot, in my opinion. Not in a good spot at all. There are better items for it. And thinking about it now, I actually think I'm going to be a bit of a hater here, and maybe people won't like it, but I actually think Spikes is also probably an F as well. Spikes did go through a period last year where it was broken. The problem with Spikes is that it's just not better than any of these 3 items. It doesn't give you anything special. And again, like I keep saying about poke, but like when you're using Spikes, it's in long duration fights, or when you're poking enemies. You can only poke the enemy support. It gives you infinite mana again, but the tier 1's really bad. The tier 2's really bad. It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't make you tanky. It doesn't make you do a lot of damage. The damage actually is fine, but the rest of it's just horseshit. So I'm keeping Spikes there. I'm not dropping Spikes. I'm not putting Spikes any higher. Yeah, it's fine. Like the best Spike gods in the game. The best gods for Spike is Umoja. Umoja's a really good Spike god because she can keep proccing it. Sylve Terror, not really. It's fine on those characters. It's fine on Sylve actually, but Cab, there are better items. There is better items. I'm telling you, on Cabraking, you need to build these 3. You haven't got room to build Spikes till 5th item. I'm telling you guys, Fafnir is fine as well, but you can say to build it, but I'm telling you, it's just not as good as any of these items up here. Like, truly, it really isn't. If you want damage, you can build damage here. You want damage, you can build damage here. You want damage, you can build it elsewhere. On YouTube, yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube, yeah. Okay. It's fine on Shiva. It's good on Shiva actually. Shiva actually does build these 2 items. That's fine. Shiva, you actually the Shiva build is actually Gladshield, Genjis, and Spikes all together. So actually, you can actually build it on Shiva, but that's it. Okay, let's move on. Always better for tanky characters? No, I think this item's been a bait for a long time. This item's an absolute bait. It's like it's marginally better than Pridwin, but for the gold, it's not worth it, and it's nowhere near as good as Glorious Pridwin. So, okay, let's keep going. Okay, Spirit Robe is going to go in D tier. Now, the thing about Spirit's Robe is Spirit's Robe 2 or 3 years ago when I first joined the league was really good. The problem with Spirit's Robe is when do you build it? When tanks die as fast as they do right now, what CC chain are you avoiding or denying to the enemy that you're not denying with any of these items up here? I don't think I can name one. Let's say you get a Wheel Exalted, okay? Maybe it's fine there. But if you're getting a Wheel Exalted, it's very difficult to place. It has no health on it. Now the CCR is valuable, but that damage reduction doesn't really do anything. Again, when you're getting poked, it doesn't do anything for your team. If you play a god like Yamoja, who arguably would want the CDR and the self-peel, you just go beads instead and then build a proper item. It's not good to peel for divers. If you're diving, you want to do more damage with Pridwin and Void Shield and Void Dumaru. So it's just not that good. It's cheapish, but it's not cheap. So I'm putting it there. I'm putting it there. It's staying there. Okay. Let's keep going. I'm also going to put... let's see. I'm very careful of reaching this line, but I'm also fine doing it too if I see fit. Okay. Magi's. I'm gonna do Magi. Let's do Magi. Let's do all the cloaks next. Magi's is a pretty dog shit item on its own. It's actually not very cost efficient at all. It's just kind of shit. Magi's Blessing is just not good. The gods that you want it on are usually the immobile. The gods you want it. There's too much CC in the game, and they just proc it too easily. The only reason you ever build this item, which you're getting C tier. Well, at that point, should I just put it D though? Because you always have to upgrade it. But it's cheap though. I'll keep it in C. The reason you always build Magi's is for one of these two. You never ever want to build Magi's and not get the glyph. You can do it with Relic Dagger. You don't have to get the glyph if you don't want to. You can invest that gold in relics. You can do it with Breastplate as well. Magi's, you need to get a glyph. Magi's Shelter. Actually, both of these, honestly, not even kidding, both these are going here. They are just really strong. It's not worth the Spirit Robe? No, it's not. It's staying here. These two are just really strong. Like, obviously, they're a little bit more expensive than your average item, but this is fantastic for diving. This is such a broken diving item and a chase tool. You build the best one for this passive? Yeah, but the passive shit though. Like I'm not denying like you can build the item. The item shit and you build it for the item, but like these enablers are better. Okay, Magi's Glyph you build for yourself. When you build Magi's Glyph, okay, you give a free Magi's to your teammate. That's double the value effectively, right? Not only now are you making yourself safe, you're making your teammate safe as well. This one, whenever you get gone on, you get to reverse it and flip it on them. For misleading tile, maybe. I'm telling you, these two are staying here. They're just really efficient for the gold. They double the effectiveness of Magi's, basically. Because you can't control it. I mean, there are plenty of games where people pop it. If you can't. If you pop this, you always get value. This one, you're usually a backline support and you position correctly. I don't even think the passive shit because you pop it. I just don't think it does anything. Yeah, this is for the website actually. That's true. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it does, but see, it's just like a meh item. It's like a little bit below average. It's fine. It's a fine item. You can build it, but I'm telling you, the cost efficiency wise, it's nowhere near as good as this. Arc Druids is going to go in... Okay, Arc Druids I'm going to have to come back to. Arc Druids is going to be in B or C, for sure. The problem with Arc Druids is that you just want to go Binding instead. Because applying... It's only good on Atlas, in my opinion. Like, Atlas is it's really good on. But the gods that want to dive have melee ranged autos, and it's very hard to get that auto off before you die. And if you're getting poked, then walking in and getting the auto off when you're poked is basically impossible. So, you know what? I'm going to put Arc Druids in C tier, but pretty much because it's just really hard to build. It's hard to build, and it's very difficult to get a really good Arc Druids game. Put a god situational tier. I mean, I could do like very situational. I could have a very situational tier like down here, and I would put like Fey Hoops would go in there. Like I could do that, but it's just I don't think I'm gonna do that. Like I just think C is like it's just on average pretty mediocre, and you might get some occasional pop-offs, but it's really usually not worth it compared. There's usually better options. Like for example, Binding. Like Binding is just is Binding A or B? It's one of them. Binding, is it A or B? Or is it S? It's not S. No, I'm gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A. Okay, Binding is just very good on a lot of characters. Like, it's very good. If you don't like Kuzumbo, Cerberus, fake Tierlist, okay, my bad. It's just a very, very good all-round item. It's good for diving, it's good for peeling. Now, you're thinking like, oh, why is it good for peeling? If your teammates are killing the enemy divers faster, then that is peeling. That's why Shoguns is peeling, because you're buffing your team to kill people faster. It's just always good. As well, I haven't done a tier list of relics yet. Heartward is very, very broken this year. Sorry, not Heartward, sorry, Horrific. Horrific Binding combo is beyond busted. It's because it's a guaranteed proc in the team fight. Guaranteed proc shred. It's really, really good. Binding is just a great all-round item. It's really good on everyone. Besides like your Afros and your Hell. It's even good on Hell actually. It's bad on like your Afros. Single target CC is bad on, but usually it's pretty good on everyone else. Yeah, I just did it to the Heartward now. I don't know why. I just keep saying Heartward. Okay. Let's see. Let's do Lotus Sickle. I'm kind of going over the place. I'll do Relic Dagger next. I'll do these two next, but I'm just continuing. Lotus Sickle is D. It's really situational, and with the amount of percentage penetration in the game, again, let's say a carry has base 50 prots, right? Okay, let's say it has base 50 prots, and you give them 60 prots. The problem with those 10 prots that you're providing your team is that if there's a Void Dumaro in the game, that instantly goes down by 10. Sorry, if the 10 difference, right? It already gets reduced by 1 because of the 10%. Then you've got the 40% penetration from the enemy team. So then you reduce it again, like down by 4. You know what I mean? Like half the value is instantly gone from Lotus Sickle, and it doesn't give that many prots. It gives the same as Thebes, which is it's just the worst Thebes. The cooldown motion's nice. The only value of Lotus Sickle is that it's really, really cheap. I would recommend this on gods like Hel and Umoja and Guan. That's it. The problem with this item on gods like Umoja, Hel, and Guan is that if you stack it with Lotus, with Fey Hoops, you have no prots, so you can get one shot. So the selfish, greedy support or the nice support items make you really squishy. So you have to play very one-dimensionally, which is just peely. So that's why it's going in D. It is fine, like I said, on those healers, but it's mediocre. It's not as good as Lotus Crown used to be back in the day. So yeah, if it was 15 of each, it would be here. But because it's 10, it's not even good as these two. It's just like not that good. It's just not that good. If it was, it's just because it's cheap. That's the only reason you ever see it built. Okay. Relic Dagger is the epitome of just like a good item. It's very cheap for what it does. Relics have been nerfed this year besides Horrific. So it's good with Horrific, obviously. It's good with Bracer. It does get infinitely better with this, cost efficiency wise. But it's just a good item. It's just good. The reason this is in B is... Oh, no. Hold on. No, this is in B. This is in B. You're never going to... Relic Dagger on its own is fine. So if you're ever building this, it's because it's good. I could put it lower, but if you are against Double Hunter, or against an Assassin and a Hunter, that I've got like a Kali or something, or you're against a Freya and a Hunter, it does have a lot of value. If you're against your Bolognas, your Osiris's, it actually has a lot of value. And the fact, yeah, this is fine. This is staying here. Why is the combo of Red Dagger and Braces so strong? Because you can have two on the field. You can have infinite braces, basically. You can have two braces on the field at once. Whenever you place a bracer, it gives you a sentry ward for free over the cap of 3 that you can usually place. No, sorry, no, it doesn't. It doesn't go over the cap of 3, but it gives you a free sentry, which usually you have to double back for. It gives your team constant movement speed and constant power increase. Like, it gives you insane fight potential around objectives. Your fire giants become infinitely stronger with this Embracer. Because if they ever engage, oh, your team has movement speed. You're trying to do fire giant, oh, your team has power. Forever, free stat. It's a relic with zero cooldowns, and it gives you infinite vision as well. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's staying there. Below Heart Ward, because they're not very efficient. They're not efficient in gold. Basically, they're just like mediocre. This is also this is just dog shit. This is fine, but it's hard to use. Okay, Slot BTS Criminal. Nah, not really, not anymore. I think these items have surpassed it. Besides a few characters, these items have surpassed it. On Ares and Kepri, you can argue it's her, but okay, let's keep going. Okay. Now this is difficult now, because the items now you're paying a glyph for it. Yeah, but you got to think about that 600 gold though. Like, when you're playing support, gold's a lot hard to come across. Like, compare that 600 gold to a relic upgrade. Okay, compare that 600 gold to a power spike. You know, 3.5 minutes later. Is that really worth it? I don't think so. These are not game changing. These are not game changing in my opinion. Yeah, Gem of ISO did get buffed. The thing about ISO is that we haven't got any proof that it's good. I think ISO will still be here personally. Gonna be a hater. I'm gonna put ISO there. I am willing, just like Frostbound, I am willing to bump these two up here. The problem again, like with all these internal cooldown items, is that it doesn't matter how short that cooldown is. If you can't proc it consistently, the buff is meaningless. You just select spikes. If you could proc spikes every single time, every ability, it would be S tier. But you can't. When you build Gem of ISO and Frostbound, you are squishier. Therefore, you can get away with less. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you have a 0 internal cooldown. You cannot use the item properly. You're sacrificing a defense item for these two. So I'll put them in D for now. If they start popping off, I'm putting these in C tier, guaranteed. How is Spike left here and Mil? Those two items are terrible, man. Mike was a renewal. Mike could have built anything and won that Worlds game. Mike could have built... He could have built this item, wasn't even in the game. He could have skipped that item and won that game. The game was over. Renewal was not the winning factor. This item's just not good. Too much anti-heal in the game. Not good enough to to rush. I've gone on that a million times that I can't be asked to say it again, but... You bought Renewal first, yeah, but it's 15 prots. Mantle Discord's here. Discord's just gonna go in B. It's a fine item. That's it. That's all there is to say. It's all there is to say. It's better than Spirit's Robe. It's not as good as the Magi's, but it's got the similar use to the 4 cloaks. Yeah, the problem is it's expensive. They did tone it down at the start of the year, or start of last year. The passive is very, very broken. It's very, very broken. If you can get it late game, it's a great build finisher. I think, again, if we check the website, I'm pretty sure Mantle will be last for a few characters, just because it's really good at diving. Especially, it's good at diving, basically. See a few mantles. So Mantle Artheo, Mantle Athena, Mantle Cab, and then Mantle's gonna fall off. I don't think I've built. Yeah, my Mantle and Cumber too. Like gods that want that additional CC and also diving, it's pretty good on. I agree with that. 30% attack speed reduction would be extremely broken. Well, I think that's not cool. That's not good counterplay. I think it's fine. Okay, continuing. Erosion is mediocre. Erosion last year was pretty good. It was pretty good against gods like Umoja. The thing about Erosion is that when Fey Hoops got nerfed and people stopped building Fey Hoops, this item got worse. Because this item countered Fey Hoops and Umoja. They just nerfed Fey Hoops. This item's really good against Umoja, but where's the good spot? Well, no, you can build infinite glyphs now for Freibu or Freibu. You can build 5 glyphs if you want now. They uncapped it, but buffing it is not that good. Yeah, it's fine. Erosion is just mediocre. It's cheap, cheerful, but the passive is only good against shields, and they're not really that abundant right now. They just nerfed Shell as well. Like the Shell before that was broken, not in the game anymore. Not broken. It's just Shell's mediocre, so it's just very, very rarely will it be good. That's why it's going in D-tier. Let's see. Yeah, it's good against a lot of shields, not just a few. Okay. Don't want to start putting these items in. So, obviously, this Tierlist has gone on for... I've been speaking for an hour, by the way, guys. This is crazy. I don't know why I've been speaking for an hour. It's going to be a weird YouTube video. These 3 are like the damage items on Guardians that you can build. I am going to put Chronos Pendant in S tier. I'm also going to put Ethereal in A tier with Divine. And I'll speak about them. Okay. For the newer player that doesn't play support that much, the reason why, and I'll go through all 3. I'll go through Chronos Pendant first and I'll start. Okay. The reason why Chronos Pendant is S is because every god, every character that's a support uses their abilities for a reason. It's not for poke. Everything, like, it's not for poke like a mage where they will, oh, I spam my abilities, got a bit of poke off. Supports, every ability is usually very useful. Think about Geb Shields, think about Terrors. Everything enables each other. And a greedy item like Chronos Pendant not only gives you infinite mana and 20% CDR, but it gives you more abilities to use on your teammates as well. Now, obviously, Chronos Pendant is infinitely better on a god like Umoja. This is Umoja's best item. This was started by Jake, by the way, in Season 8. Or Season 9, was it? Season 8, I think. Awesome Jake started building this. It genuinely changed support. Like, if I can build this item, I'm building it. The amount of times in scrims on before Worlds this year where I said to all my team, I'm building Chronos Pendant, don't lose the game in the next 5 minutes, and I will win the game for you. Like, I've said that on Umoja a lot. Like, it's very, very broken. It's great on Karen as well, great on Umoja, great on even the mage supports like Iset, Aphrodite, if you can get away with it. Hell, just mwah, it's gorgeous. Not good on your traditional guardians like Ares or Cumber, but good on the gods that I mentioned. On Achilles, yeah, it's fantastic on Achilles. Didn't Jake start the meta? No, Jake started the meta, but his team didn't want it to happen. And then everyone else started doing it, and then everyone was like, oh shit, Jake started that. Okay. Okay, we're down to the final 6 items. Let's move them here. Okay. Oh, sorry, and then Ethereal and Divine. These are just really solid damage items. Ethereal is really good for your team to kill a tank. It's also great. Let's go like poke gods. Ethereal is the best poke in the game because it cannot be healed. It just steals their HP. Whereas Mirrodin's very unique. Mirrodin would be like Mirrodin would be here. Mirrodin's only good on like gods like Atlas and Umoja. But you're not. I'm not telling I'm not telling anyone to build Mirrodin but top Umojas. So, Divine, team-wide anti-heal, good at damage, great, like one of the best diving items in the game. Like the only damage item you need when you're diving. I have it on Kuzenbo, I have it on Ares, I have it on Cerberus, I have it on Atlas. It's fantastic. Ethereal is a different. Ethereal is for more mid-range gods, and by that I mean like your Kepri 3s, your let me think. Like gods that want to play back and steal the health while your team kills them. Fafnir's, Kepris. It's great again. It counters Cthulhu. It counters Nike as well. Steals their max HP so they get less converted health. Ethereal is really strong. As well, additional benefit, but kind of minute. It does steal the enemy's mana bar, which can be good for tablet builds. It is good against Toth builds. It does reduce their power by a little bit as well, but it's kind of minute. You don't really notice too much. So yeah, these three have always been strong. Okay, next up. This is tough now. This is getting tough. I think S tier is locked. I think. Okay, let's do. Okay. These two are the same item, basically. Obviously, they're differently statted, but they both have the healing increase. The problem with the healing increase is that there's not really any supports anymore that heal for a big amount in one go. The biggest heal in one go for any support that I've mentioned is Isettle, I think. Besides that, their main value comes with stacking with meditation. Obviously, meditation's good, and this is good with meditation. But I kind of feel like meditation's value comes from the upgrade, not the heal. So these have value, but if teams start stacking anti-heal against you, again, you're just sacrificing a defense item for an item that kind of enables your team, but not really. They're very just mediocre items. I would be willing to drop them down here as well, but I kind of feel like they're justifiably in C. Yeah, it can't. Well, it only buffs your healing. These only buff your healing. They don't buff your team's healing anymore. That's why they're not good. These are the aura from this is it gives your team movement speed, and the aura from this is it gives your team CDR. Movement and CDR. I mean, these two stats are useful, but they're not broken. Where's your Jotun's Wrath? That's not happening. Abyssal Stone. Honestly, I don't know. Abyssal Stone's fine. Abyssal Stone is great against your Umojas. It's good against when you're really far ahead. Abyssal Stone's good, but it's just kind of mediocre. Like. Is it better at diving than at binding? You know? I don't know. Me and my ADC character just won a game in 20. Fantastic. Yeah, it could be slightly better. Sending someone to negative CDR feels a lot worse than reducing the overall CDR. For now, I'm leaving it in D tier. I'm not moving it about. It's going to stay here. It's just fine. The problem with these items is it's hard to value them because you don't feel the value of the item, you know? You only feel when you're against it. So I could be underrating a little bit, but I don't think I am by much if I am. Okay. Now we've got the triple hammer. So triple hammers are weird because they obviously only apply to physical characters. If you're building Runeforged, you can build it last, but typically you want to build it third, fourth, fifth, because that's when you get the most value from fighting and having power. Flameforged is going to go in D. Flameforged is it's the mediocre one. You can stack it with, let's say, like your Thor solos and your Thor supports, if you want to play that. You can build it with your Achilles, your Erlangs, but like they're not like, it's just very, very mediocre. The reason it's in D is it's just not worth the gold to spend on it. Now, was broken earlier? No, this one might be broken, depending on which character you're playing with. Runeforged is C. It's just a little bit below the belt. If I were to come in and play ranked and realize, okay, The physical support gods are pretty broken. This would instantly be bumped up to B tier. The fact that physical support gods aren't really broken just yet makes me think it's going to be a C tier, where it's kind of mediocre. And I'm going to do the same with this as well. I was considering putting it a little bit higher, but I'm actually not. The problem with these items is this lasts for 5 seconds. This lasts for 3. It's very hard to get use off this item for the 3 seconds. This one you can get use off a lot more. But sometimes it's a nerf. That's the problem. Yeah, if it was 5 seconds, bish bash bosh, sign me up, you know. And I could lie to you guys, like, I could lie and go like, oh yeah, like, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this and this, you know. It's like, oh yeah, look, like the Tierlist is like almost even. But I kind of feel like all these items are a tier below what I like this, you know. I feel like they truly are like. I mean, you could put this here, but again, no. I'm putting it here. Again, the problem with this item, it lasts too long of a duration. It's definitely a direct upgrade of this, but sometimes that duration reduction will cost you the use of it. And these are all 15-second like internal cooldowns, so wasting a proc like that is really bad. Thoughts on Magus? Magus hasn't been good since they nerfed the passive. If Magus was 10% damage increase, it would be fine, but 5% is very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. Never build Magus. The lifesteal stat, useless. The power, low. It's just bad. Just build Obshard instead. Obshard on Mirrodin. Okay. Deso. You're never building Deso over Divine. If in my opinion, the only character you build Deso on is Umoja, and that would be an S tier on Umoja, but this is an overall support tier list. So obviously you have like your mirror. I didn't on this list that I've missed out. Brawlers, you don't brawl brawlers anymore. You can do, but brawlers is bad. Like brawlers would be here. Brawlers would be here. Deso would be here. Mirrodin would be here. Brawlers is like very selfish, and there's better anti-heal options and better damage options. I don't know. It's just kind of like a mediocre. Why not starter? Because I already have a million items. And the thing about starters is it's usually quite obvious which way you're going. Starters also have the unfair advantage where they are priced very differently. These items are all 1,000 gold within each other. Support starter items, they cost 600 at the default, and then 1,500 upgrade. They are just too cheap. They are way too cheap to upgrade compared to these items. Like, I don't think we can really compare War Banner to Sov, you know, or War Banner to Compassion. It's just like Sov to Compassion. It's not a fair analysis. So 1,250, yeah, sorry, 1,250, but my point stands. But yeah, they'd all be S tier based on price efficiency. Besides Heroism, yeah, Heroism would be F tier. Besides what people think. Any physical damage items? If any physical damage items, if I was to recommend anything, you could have a Titan's Bane. You could have an Arendite, like an Arendite. Arendite's pretty underrated right now. Arendite, good against Morrigan if you're playing like a tier. You can build like Arendite and dive. You could build like Titan's Bane on like your tier again. But realistically, like it's not. You don't really build damage on physicals. You're more of like an annoyance, and you kill them with your base damage. But why is Heroism so bad? Because it gets procced way too easily, and it only absorbs like one ability. So it doesn't do anything. Yeah, Heroism. Yeah, Arendite's super stat padded. Okay, that's the tier list done. Is there any questions? I'll answer questions for a little bit on this. If anyone has any questions. Sorry, I'm going to answer my phone real quick. Absolute crap for me. There's music on? Oh, fuck, there isn't there. Wait. Oh, shit, dude. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's coming through my desktop. It's okay. It gets muted on the VOD. I'm good. It gets muted from the VOD. I'm good. I have to just pull it from the VOD. So I'm recording for no reason. Brilliant. Jeez, you give me a heart attack, man. What made Cloak so much better this season? It was broken last year too. It's not got any worse in value. That was pretty much. It's not got any worse. Do you ever skip Spectral? I do all the time. Midgardian's better than Spectral. Spectral's just dog shit. It doesn't feel good to build. Tainted on option? No. How's regular pridwin over blue pridwin? Because it's efficient. It's to do with cost efficiency. Like the 600 gold you're spending here, even though it's only 600 gold, comparatively to the power spec of pridwin, it's not that good. Like technically, I could put every glyph up here and say like, yeah, like you're getting a free like double passive, you know. But this passive does nothing for you. Like that's almost a full relic. Do you ever feel like you have to decide which backline damage to die to? Yeah, sometimes. Opinion on Spirit's Rope, just not. It's just like very poorly statted. Like Spirit's Rope's not like saving you from death in Smite. Usually, it's like not doing that. And if it's not saving you from the cusp of death, then it's not got a purpose because it's like very selfish. It has no team properties. It's not doing anything to the enemy. Like at least these two. Okay. This one, these two, which are also cloaks, which also provide like that kind of like safety from CCs. They give you something back. This gives you an AoE stun and a cleanse, and this gives you like the chance to chase down your opponent. So this is my tier list anyway. The only thing I will say is that does that have the right mana? No, it's all random. Burning Berserkers on Erlang. Like it could be good on like your Erlangs and your Onhers if you want to consider those supports. It's arguably these two are down here if you want to be like super cynical. But these 5 items are just the worst items in the game in support. Anyway, I was going to say, the items that I'm willing to move up in this tier list, if they do become apparent that they're better, will be Frostbound, Gem of ISO. And I'm also willing to move these two down as well, but I'm pretty sure they'll be broken. These two are really, really strong. Could swap stars when you grade them. What star would you like to use in support? Compassion. Will support be worse? Yes, he will. On her support, but well, technically not. So on her support, last patch shredded 35% penetration because of heavy XE. Right? Was also plus 20 because it's passive. Now you shred 28%, but it's in 4 autos. But you also have Void Shield, which is 10%. So technically compared to last patch, you can reach a higher penetration threshold than before. So it's still fine. But he is definitely worse. Like you have to spend more gold to get to the same point. And the advantage of FAXE before is that you could get the penetration in 2 autos rather than in 4. Like hitting 4 autos, especially as support mains, hitting 4 autos is way harder than hitting 2. So no, it didn't stack. No, it didn't. It did for a patch, and they changed their mind on that. Okay, anyway, well, I guess I'm gonna Where's Voidstone? That's Voidstone. Anyway, that's the video I guess done for YouTube. I'm leaving it. That's it. Fuck YouTube. That's it. What stars? I haven't got stars done. I mean, stars you could even do in game. Like stars are very easy for me. Like I could do a tier list here. Like I'm not even kidding. Would I? Wait, how many are there? Yeah, like stars. Like if this is like S tier, A tier, B tier, D or whatever, you know. A B. It is S, A, B, C. Like heroism's down here. Heroism's here. Boon's here. You've got your embraces. You've got your war banners. You've got your Spartan flags, and then you've got your compassion up here. What are you leaking now? Nothing. Pro shred, yeah. Like that's what my tier list would be. Finally? What do you mean finally? What do you mean finally? Yo, Oxy, what do you think of my item tier list? What do you think? This is going into season 11. What do you reckon? Why compassion's so high? The thing about compassion, so Moonman. So I haven't changed my opinion necessarily. Okay, the reason why compassion is the best on its own, like if you can get away with it and get the compassion, it's the best star in the game. The problem with compassion is it's only for peeling, whereas War Banner is good for everything. It's good for playing aggressive and defensive. So compassion's a lot more unique. Basically. Best time in the game? Nah. What about Lonos? Oh shit, there's Lonos too. Oh fuck. Yeah, Lonos is a weird one. Actually, I forgot about Lonos. Bollocks. Yeah, early flag with the fighting dual lane now is going to be very broken. Like, these two are the best finishers in the game. But the problem is, finishing's not everything. But yeah, I guess with Lonos, I guess it'd be like this. In my opinion, again, I'm biased. But. Yeah, there you go. So that's it. Come to the beach. You going to the beach? Which beach? Heroism is OP. Got tier list? Probably tomorrow.